Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode 3 of ServiceDesk Plus Masterclass 2024. So, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Vidya, a product expert in ServiceDesk Plus here at ManageEngine. So, I have been with ManageEngine for a couple of years and I'm specialized with IT service management and asset management. So, today I'm here and we're going to dive into this masterclass session together. I'm really very much excited to guide you through this journey of discovery and learning. So, in this masterclass session, we'll be exploring the ins and outs of streamlining the incident management workflows with ServiceDesk Plus. So, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned enthusiast, no matter what, there is something here for everyone. So the agenda of this masterclass session is where we'll be discussing on how to create and customize incident templates to get the required data from the end users based on your organization's need. You can also classify all the users within your organization into various user groups, which ensures that only appropriate people can view appropriate forms within ServiceDesk Plus. Next, we'll be discussing on how to design and associate request lifecycle to the incident templates. That is, by configuring a request lifecycle, the administrator of the application defines a clear workflow for the request, thereby providing a guided path for all the technicians to follow a clear action plan for all of their assigned requests. So when you have a lifecycle configured in ServiceDesk Plus, it ensures that there is no deviation from the defined request workflow. So next, we'll be discussing on how to implement a problem management. So as you all know, a problem management in ITSM, it is a crucial process which aimed at identifying and resolving the root cause of recurring incidents within an organization's infrastructure. Unlike incident management, which focuses on restoring the application services as quickly as possible, whereas if you have a powerful problem management for your organization, it aims to prevent the incidents from occurring at the first place by underlying the issues systematically. Finally, we'll be discussing on how to document the knowledge base articles. So a knowledge base in ITSM, it is a centralized repository of information which stores the solutions of the previously reported incidents, or it may be a troubleshooting guide, or it may be a best practices. All these can be stored in a single set of place, which helps the support team and also the end users to resolve their incident request efficiently. And most importantly, they'll be able to resolve it on time. So these are all the features and functions which we will be discussing during this masterclass episode. Yes. So it is a time for a poll. We have a quick question to all the attendees over here. So does your organization use problem management to perform efficient incident postmortem? So if you have implemented it, you can go with the first option. Or if you're in the process of implementing it, you can go with the second option. Or no, but you would like to implement it in the future, probably after the masterclass, or simply no. I request all the attendees over here to answer for the poll. Okay, so I could see that the majority of the answer is no. So I'll make sure to help you with the benefits of having problem management for your organization to resolve the reported incidents efficiently during this masterclass session. So next comes the Zilker. So you people might have a question like who is Zilker or what is Zilker? So Zilker, it is a fictional organization which I will be taking as a use case throughout the masterclass session. So Zilker, it is a distinguished provider of retail and logistics solutions who delivers goods and services to over 120 plus countries across the globe. However, during a Cyber Monday sale, an unexpected glitch causes the ERP system to malfunction or halt. Simply, the ERP application is completely down now. So, which leads to a widespread service disruption across various sectors, notably impacting the order fulfillment service. So, this interruption brings numerous business operations to a standstill, overloading the IT team with numerous number of phone calls, emails, tickets, etc., etc. Even if you take my organization, we have around 12 floors, and each floor will be having an IT team. So if my application is down, I'll immediately rush to the IT team to know what is the cause of the issue, and the primary question will be like when the issue will be resolved. The same scenario happens in Zilker as well, where the complete ERP application is down. So all the users who are using ERP application is they are raising phone calls, tickets, and the IT team is flooded now. So now the interruption has occurred. The IT team has to do something to resolve the issue. So again, the IT team scrambles to assemble an incident response team to address the issue. Yet they face obstacles and delay at every juncture, leading to escalations and revenue losses for the company. So in this slide, we'll be discussing on how Zilker tackled all these major incidents before using ServiceDesk Plus. So now the IT team itself is struggling to engage with the end users or stakeholders due to ongoing debates on to whether officially declare this outage as a major incident. So this lack of clarity stems from an inadequate information gathering, as there is no proper information gathered from the end users regarding the reported issue, and the absence of a predefined incident management workflow. So this automatically results in an unstructured response to the reported incident, right? And also this leads to frustration and confusion across the Zilker's organization. Additionally, Zilker don't have a proper communication with the incident response team, which is increasing the further delay. They have a poor task management, and also Zilker lacks a well-defined problem management framework to identify the root cause and to prevent the future recurrences of such incidents. Furthermore, there is currently no system in place to document all these solutions and workarounds, hindering the establishment of enterprise-wide knowledge repository. So in this slide, we will be discussing on what are all the challenges faced by Zilker during this scenario and the features of ServiceDesk Plus which helped Zilker to overcome all these challenges. So the challenge number 1. So as we all know, the complete ERP application is down. Multiple users are reporting the same issue. Zilker here lacks an adequate information to capture and manage the information effectively. So here comes the features of ServiceDesk Plus into place, where we have incident templates, problem templates, which is dedicated to handle application related issues. We can have mandatory fields, we can have optional fields, we can have logical based questions, so that it ensures that all the required data is gathered from the end users regarding the reported issue. All right. So the challenge number 2. Once the issue is reported, it is very important to guide our technicians with necessary action plans and to automate the jobs that they need to do to resolve the issue. So however, without ServiceDesk Plus, each technician of Zilker organization will try to resolve the request in their own way. So here comes the features of ServiceDesk Plus in place, where we have request life cycles, business rules, service level agreements, which helps you to automate jobs with necessary action and by using a predefined request management workflow. All right. So next, the issue has been reported. We have got the required data with incident and problem templates. Next, we have automated the jobs with the help of request lifecycle, business rules, service level agreements. The third challenge what Zilker faces here is to notify the application owners and stakeholders. It is very important, right? So the biggest obstacle the Zilker faces in this scenario is to communicate with the stakeholders at the right time. So here, the announcement feature enables the technician to communicate important messages to all the technicians or the users in just a click. For example, if there is any instant server shutdown or if there is any unplanned power outage, you can just mark an announcement and you can publish it to the technicians or the users so that the technician would come to know what is exactly happening within your organization. Okay. So now, post the issue is resolved, it is very important to prevent the issue from happening again. So this happens in Zilker. So this becomes the fourth challenge of Zilker organization. So after the issue is resolved, the technicians of the Zilker's organization generally tend to close the request. What comes if we have a problem template which analyzes the root cause of the reported incident with the help of impact and the symptoms observed for the reported incident? So here we have the problem template. We will be able to analyze the root cause with the help of symptoms and the impact so that we would find the permanent fix for the reported issue. Okay, so now we have found the permanent fix for the issue as well. But there should be some place to document all these solutions and to build a comprehensive knowledge repository. So here comes the problem solution and solution template into place, where we can document all these solutions into various categories, and which helps the support team and also the end users to resolve the request as early as possible. So these are all the challenges which was faced by Zilker and the features which helped Zilker to overcome all these challenges. Yes. So now we are going to help the Zilker to customize all these requirements and to develop a strategic ITSM process with the help of dynamic customizable templates. So let me get into the product and I'll show you how a requester or a technician creates a request and how the templates have been customized at the back end. So I am going to log into the application using a requester account whose login name is guest. So I'll log into the application. So as soon as you log into the application, there comes the ESM portal page. So it will be listing all the available instances which you have in the application. For an instance, if you have an HR related query, you can go with HR instance and you can report the issue accordingly. Again, if there is an issue with sales instance, you can go with sales. You can choose the sales instance to report an issue. But in our case, it is an IT help desk instance, and I'm going to choose this. So once when I choose IT help desk instance, it is providing me with three different options: to report an issue, to request a service, or to view solutions. So I'll go with report an issue, where I am facing an application related issue. So I can select the service category called application issues. Once it is done, I have to choose the respective template to raise the issue. So I'm going with the application outage issue major incident template, as my ERP application is completely down now. So I'll choose this. So as soon as you choose the template, it is asking me to fill the required values to analyze this specific request. So on the right hand side, I can see a help card instructing the requester to use this template only for application outage issue. So if there is any other issue, you can use the respective template to report your issue accordingly. So there is a short info or guideline which is shown to the requester. Along with that, only if there is an application outage issue, we have to use this template. Or if there is any other issue, then we can choose the required templates from the template list view and we can report it accordingly. All right. So here there are different sections like information, categorization, description. So let me enter the value. So the impact, it impacts the organization. I'll choose it. And the urgency is the application is currently down. And under the categorization section, I could see that the category field is completely disabled. It shows that there is no edit privilege for the requester here. So it might be constructed at the back end. So as it is an application related issue, the category field was set to application by default. Next, I have to choose the subcategory value. Why? Because it is mandated. So I'll choose the ERP application, and under the item value, under the item field, there are list of issues which is reported for the ERP application. So in my case, as it is an access and authentication issue, none of the users can log into the application. So I'll choose it accordingly. So as soon as I choose this value under the item field, there comes a different section. A issue analysis section is populating over here with different set of questions regarding the access and authentication issue. It asks me, are users experiencing difficulty logging into the ERP system, or if it is issue with multi-factor authentication, or if you recognize any unauthorized access or security breaches like that. So I have to answer all these questions, and as they have mandated it, so I'll answer it accordingly. So what comes if there is a performance issue with ERP application? So all these fields, all these questions should not be shown, right? So when I choose performance issue, there comes a different set of questions, and if I choose reporting issue, there comes a different set of questions. So it means that according to the issue I have selected under the item field, the questions are getting differed. So this has been constructed at the backend. Let me show you once when I go with the template customization page. So I'll choose the access and authentication issue, and I'm going to enter the subject. So why the ERP is down. All right. So you can enter the description value as well. And then if you click on add request, there comes a different set of UI, which shows the status, priority, and due by date for this specific incident. So the due by date of this specific incident is, it has been for 5 hours. So this is how a requester can create a request, and this is how the request details page looks for a requester login. So parallelly, I'll take you to a technician login, and I'll show you how a technician can raise a request. So I'm going to choose the instance. I'll select the template. So this is the same template which I have used for requester as well. But I could see that there are more number of fields when comparing to a requester's template. So I could see that there is a different, a new section called assignment, which have the group and technician fields. So which shows that the technician is allowed to view the group or the technician field values over here. And I'll show you another thing where the level of the request is nothing but the complexity, which denotes the complexity of the specific incident. So in my case, I'll choose the ERP and the access and authentication issue. As soon as I choose this value, it becomes a level 2 issue. It denotes the complexity. If I choose a requesting for information, that is, if I want any information regarding the ERP application, I'll click on it. It automatically changes to L1 and it is an how to issue. So all these logics have been constructed at the backend. So this is how a technician login, technician's template looks like with more number of fields. I have customized more number of fields when comparing to a requester's template. So now we have seen how a requester and the technician login looks like. So you people might have a question like how the form was actually created. So let me take you to the administrator login and I'll show you how the templates can be customized. So this is an administrator login, and under admin section, we have a dedicated section for templates and form. Okay. So under templates and form, we'll be choosing incident template. So I'll choose it. As you all know, we were using the application outage major incident template to report the issue. So I'll click on it. So this is the template which I use to create a request. And you can see that there is a layout different for technician and requester, which means that we will be able to customize the required fields for technician's layout and requester's layout separately. Okay. And before that, I would like to show you what are all the default fields which our ServiceDesk Plus provides. So I'll duplicate this page and I'll take you to the default request template of the application. So under incident template, all the default requests will be listed over here. So under default request, so all these fields are the default fields which is provided by ServiceDesk Plus. You have status, mode, level, which denotes the complexity, group to which support group the request has to be assigned, the priority, category, subcategory, item, the categorizations of the specific request. All these has been provided by default in default request template. So you people have a question like, what comes if we want an additional field to be created? Yes, it can be done. So I'll take you to the template. I'll click on this plus icon, which shows a different types of field which we have in ServiceDesk Plus. So you can create a single line, multi-line, or it may be a numeric, decimal, pick list, multi-select, radio, checkbox, date and time. All these field types are available on the left-hand side, and you can just drag and drop the fields to the template, and you can provide the field name, you can save it, and you can add it to the template. So you can create the required field type and you can associate it with the template. So when you provide a field name, there comes a different option to hold personally identifiable information or to encrypt the field. So what is this? So in many cases or in many organizations, some of the fields contains personal information such as person's name, email address, or any other personal information that can be misused, right? So moreover, privacy regulations and guidelines such as GDPR requires the business data to be protected from misuse. So here, and therefore, in ServiceDesk Plus, you have the option to mark all the personally identifiable information as PII. You can also choose to encrypt the data for better security. So PII marking is essential for anonymizing or completely erasing any personal information when the user leaves the organization. So it ensures that there is no data from misuse. It ensures that no personal information can be misused. All right. So, and also you have many options like you can mark as mandatory, or you can enable the options to make the requester can set the field or to view the field. Anything can be done when you customize the additional field. Okay. So then comes the section. So imagine a scenario where only if you have an option to create additional fields. So what will happen? All the fields will be placed here and there, which does not provide a neat view for the end users while creating a request. They'll be confused to enter the respective value while creating a request. So there comes the section. We have single column, double column, 3 column, or all the section types have been listed on the left hand side. You can just drag and drop to the template, and you can insert the appropriate fields within the section so that it looks more greater when a requester or a technician creates a request. And then we have customizations like you can customize the font, you can customize the background color, the font size. If you want any of the specific field to be highlighted, you can go with the customization. You can provide a background color to it. Everything can be done when you have font customization in it. And then we have a help card section. As you all know, while creating a while logging into a requester's login, it showed me that to use this specific template only when there is an application outage issue. So that can be done. So when you have help card over here, so use this area to display a short description or any instruction, or if you want to provide any notes or guideline, that can be provided over here so that it will be shown to the requesters while creating a request. Okay. And then this is how a templates can be customized according to your requirement. And then comes the workflow. Along with that, I would like to explain you the interesting feature which we have, the available user groups. You will be able to associate the available user groups within the template. User group is nothing but where you can categorize all the users within the organization. Let me explain. So under the admin section, you have user groups. You can create a user group based on the criteria. It may be a department name, job title, or it may be a primary email, site. All these can be used as a criteria, so that all the users of this specific criteria will be clubbed as a specific group. Okay. So in many scenarios, you might have to show this template to only a specific user group. In that case, if I associate this, only the department users, that is, I have created ERP and CRM application department. So only those users, the users who's associated with ERP or CRM application will be able to view the template. So that can be prevented by this option. Okay. So now let me go to the workflow. So under the workflow, you have approval details. So in many scenarios, there might be a need to approve the specific incident request. So I'll show you how it can be approved. So this is the request. And if you want this specific incident to be approved by a specific approver, you can submit for approval and you can choose the approver name. So in a specific incident, there might be multiple approvers or a single approver. In that case, you can choose what configuration has to be customized. If all approvers has to approve the request or any of the approval action can be considered. So that can be done from here. So next comes the checklist. So checklist is nothing but where you guide the technicians to complete all the requests in a systematic way. So I have created a major checks checklist where I have provided questions like to confirm whether it is a major incident or a root cause analysis is found or not, or the primary question over here is the system back online. So when the technician closes the request, the checklist will be mandated and they have to ensure that the system is back online or not. So when they close the request, it ensures that all the checklist of this specific template are verified. Okay. So next comes the task. So task is the split down activity of a specific incident. So when you, in our scenario, as the application is down, ERP application is completely down. So in this scenario, there might be different groups handling a specific incident. There should be a network team who have to check the issue. There should be a hardware team. There should be a database server team. So all these teams have to be involved in a specific incident. So in that case, in that scenario, you can create all the split down activities as tasks and you can associate it with different groups. And there can also be a task owner for each and every specific task. It ensures that all the groups are working on a specific incident parallelly and the incident request will be resolved as quickly as possible. So this can be done with the help of task. So this is how a template can be customized using approval, checklist, and task. So finally, we have an interesting feature called field and form rules. As when a request or a technician creates a request, there comes a different automations like we hide fields, we show fields, we mandate the fields, we show constructive logical based questions related to the item field which is selected. All these have been done with the help of a feature called field and form rules. Let me explain. So you can create a new rule. You can select the action whichever you want. If you want to enable or disable it, if you want to show or hide, if you want to mandate or non-mandate, everything can be chosen from here so that the particular value will be hidden or anything can be done. You can choose the respective system fields from this list view so that the action will be performed. So under the field and form rules, we have three different options like on form load, on field change, on form submit. So on form load is the automation which will be performed while loading a request, form. On field change is where if a specific value is changed in a particular field, based on that, the automation will take place. Next comes the on form submit, which is the automation will take place once when the user submits the request. So this is how all the hidden fields or showing fields have been constructed while creating a request. So this is how you can customize all the templates based on your requirement with default additional fields. You have an option to enable at PII marking, or you can configure the approval configurations, task, you can associate checklist, you can have multiple automations using field and form rules. Everything can be done with the help of template customization. So now we can go to the actual request which was created by the guest login. So this is the request. I'll get into the request. So this is the request details page. So as you can see, there are multiple fields which have been automatically assigned. For this specific request, the priority has been set to high automatically. The technician have been assigned. The group have been assigned. The task and the checklist is where we have associated while customizing the template, right? So the status, priority, everything have been shown. So now let me explain this one by one. So as you all see, the priority has been set to high automatically. How this is done? So this is with the help of a feature we have in the application called priority matrix. So the priority matrix helps in determining the priority automatically based on impact and urgency. So the impact will be on x-axis and the urgency on y-axis. So more importantly, the administrator of the application requires only on one-time configuration. So when the administrator have configured it for a single time, from the next time, if the impact and urgency value is chosen for a specific request, then automatically the priority will be calculated. So it's interesting, right? Okay, so this is how the priority have been set. Next comes the technician. So the technician for this specific request have been assigned to Yashika automatically. How did this happen? So this is because of the feature called technician auto assign. So it will be present under automation section. We have technician auto assign. So the technicians can be automatically assigned to the request using this technician auto assign option. It follows round robin or load balancing model. Based on the availability of the technicians, you will be able to assign it. So next comes the group. The group has been assigned automatically to ERP team. So let me show you how did this happen. So it is because of the feature we have business rules. We have a feature called business rule. Let me take you to the business rule. I'll show you the rule which I have configured to assign the group automatically. So this is the group. So this is the business rule. So I have created a criteria where if the subcategory is ERP, then it has to be assigned to a group called ERP team. So this is done with the help of business rules. So all the users in the organization will not use the self-service portal to create a request, right? So the request which is created by self-service portal, we can perform automations for it. But what comes, you people might have a question, if the user raises a ticket or raises a issue through email mode, so there comes the business rule into place where all the automations for the email mode tickets can also be done with the help of business rule. All right. So next, the response time and the resolution time for this specific request have been automatically assigned under the time analysis tab. It will be viewed under the time analysis tab. It is because of the service level agreements. Let me take you to the service level agreement. Under automations, we have service level agreements. So it can be configured for all the requests so that when the request is not resolved or responded within a pre-configured timeline, you can configure escalation rules to notify other technicians or stakeholders. And also you can perform actions like if the current technician is not working on that specific incident, you can assign it to a different technician, or you can increase the priority of the specific request, which makes sure the request has to be resolved as quickly as possible. So these are all the automations which have been done for this specific ERP application outage issue. So we have discussed about the status, priority, task, checklist, service level agreements, everything like that. But there are three different options or buttons which is shown on the request details page, like begin analysis, need more information, false alert. What are these buttons? So this is done, or this is configured with the help of a feature, an interesting feature called request lifecycle. Let me take you to the request lifecycle. So under the admin section, we have a dedicated section to have all the automations of the ServiceDesk Plus application. So here I'll be choosing the request lifecycle. So here I have a lifecycle which is associated with the incident template. So let me show you how it looks like. So it is a request lifecycle. Okay, so let me show you the workflow of this specific incident. So by configuring a request lifecycle, the administrator of the application defines a clear workflow for the request, right? So when it comes, so as soon as the ticket is created, it comes to an open status. So when it comes to an open status, there comes a three different transition called begin analysis, need more information, and false alert, which is viewed to you, to all the attendees over here on the request details page. So as you can see, there are three different transitions. So when it comes to an open status, there will be three different transitions. First, let me explain what is false alert, why I have configured it for my request or incident request. So if there might be a scenario where restarting the services can fix the issue. Okay, now many of the multiple users have been reporting that the ERP application is down, but when we do a service restart, have been fixed the issue. Here, the technician did not do anything, but the issue have been resolved automatically. So that becomes, in such cases, you can go with the transition called false alert, which will automatically cancel the request. So this is the first transition. So the second transition is need more info. So what comes if you want more information regarding the reported incident? There comes the need more information transition. You can click on it so that a notification will be sent to the requester. So under the after rules, you can configure a notification action so that a notification will be automatically sent to the requester to get the required info. So once when the requester replies back, it will be moved to the open status again. Okay, so now we are clear with what is false alert and what is need more information. So we have a transition called begin analysis. Let me explain it. So when a technician clicks on begin analysis transition, it goes to the analysis status. Over here, based on the analysis, the technician has to associate associate the task to the specific template. What all the task has to be done. So here we are going to assign the task. Okay. Once when the task is assigned, the technician has to start the work. So here the technician will start the work using this transition. Okay. Once when the work is completed, the technician will be deploying a fix and the technician will close the request. So what comes for, let me take a scenario. If it is a normal priority or a low priority or medium priority tickets, the technicians can found the issue, they can analyze the issue, they can deploy a fix and they can close it. No problem in it. What comes if there is an highest priority ticket? So it is very much essential to initiate an RCA and then it goes to a problem analysis status. So if it is a normal priority ticket, it will be moved to a fixed deploy transition. The technician will be deploying the fix and it will be automatically closed. Or if it is a higher priority ticket, we will be initiating a RCA and then it will be moved to a problem analysis status and then the root cause will be found for the specific incident. Only then it will be closed, which ensures that the root cause is found and we will be able to prevent it in the future when there is such incidents occurred again. So now I'll show you how it has been configured. So this is, I'll click on the begin analysis. So I'll provide the comment. I'll update it. Again, I have to assign the task. I've already assigned the task for this template. Or if you want to instantly add the task, you can click on this option, which will add the task instantly to the specific incident request. Once that is done, we'll go with the next transition. So I have assigned the request. So the technician has to start the work, right? So I'll start the work. So now, as it is an highest priority ticket, it will be automatically moved to a initiate RCA issue. Once when we up the application automatically, once that is done, we have to find the root cause of the specific incident, which ensures that the reported issue have to be fixed as early as possible when it is reported again in the future. So I'll go with initiate RCA. So here, as soon as I click on the transition initiate RCA, it moves to a status called problem analysis. So here, the problem template comes into place. So as you know, if the ERP application is down, the entire order processing of an organization will be affected, right? So this is the biggest challenge for the IT team. Hence, the IT team have to perform a full-blown root cause analysis to fix the issue. In order for this to happen, we need an effective foolproof problem management. So let's get into the product and see how Zilker handles this situation. As you all know, I have shown that for this specific incident, we have initiated a root cause analysis and it have been moved to a problem analysis status. So now we have to create a problem from this reported incident and the technician has to start the root cause analysis. So here we have an option to associate the problem from the reported incident. So you can click on new, which will provide you with the options to retain the request details to the problem template as well. And when you click on apply, the problem template will be populated and you can click on add problem. So a problem has been associated with this specific incident. So when you click on this ID, the problem ID which is created now is 19. So I click on it, it will automatically take me to the problem module, to that respective template. So even for problem module, we have a dedicated problem template. Let me show you. It is similar to a incident template. All the fields can be customized. It is under admin problem template. You can create a problem or template based on your requirement. You can customize all the fields you want. You can customize the font. Everything can be done as you do for an incident template. All right. So now back to the problem. So here under the problem module, we have all the problem which is created from the reported incident. So now let me go to the problem which is created. So over here, once when the problem is created, it is very important to have a problem response team and a problem owner. So I have assigned it to a group ERP team, and a technician Nityashri is going to handle this specific problem. So he or she takes the complete ownership for this assigned problem. Next thing the problem owner will do is to analyze the impact of the situation. The analysis has to be done, right? So the analysis of the particular problem, which is the ERP application, is done. So let me deep dive into the root cause analysis of this specific problem. So it looks like the database of the ERP application is spiking. This results in the high CPU usage of the database server, and none of the operations in the ERP tool can be performed. So first, what we have to do, we have to monitor and gather some data regarding the database. Once that is done, we have to review some configuration in the database, and we have to tune it accordingly. Next, we have to find out what is the query which is causing the spike in the database, and then we have to make some modifications in it. Once the query is found, we have to do an index of the database, which will resolve the issue. Finally, we'll be finding out the resource limits, and we have to do a complete optimization on the database server, which will resolve the issue. So this is the root cause analysis of this specific problem. So how did we found this root cause? It is because of the symptoms and the impact details. It is because of the symptoms observed. So as you all know, none of the users are able to log into the application, and the other symptom is the database of the ERP system is spiking, and the CPU usage on this database server is pretty much high, which caused the complete ERP application to shut down. So this is how the symptoms have been observed, and the root cause analysis for the specific problem have been found. Okay, so now we have created a problem, we have completed the analysis. Once when the analysis is completed, it is very important to notify the technicians and the user groups regarding the scenario. So there comes the option called announcement. You can make an announcement, you can click on it, you can provide the title, and then you have the accessibility to publish this announcement either to a private or private. If you choose private, only technicians can view this announcement. If you choose public, all the users in this organization can view this announcement. And there is an option to share this to specific user groups. As you all know, we have categorized the users within the organization into various user groups. You can select the specific user groups, and so the ERP application is down, and we have created a specific user group which is based on the department of ERP. So I can choose the department users so that the announcement will be shown only to them, so that only appropriate people can view appropriate announcement which is published. So this can be done with the help of this announcement feature in just a click. So next comes other than this, if you would like to communicate with the technicians and requesters of the associated incidents, so this particular problem have been created from an incident, right? So if there is an option to notify the incident technicians or incident requesters regarding the analysis, that can be done with the help of this option. Okay. And also there is an interesting feature called let's assume there was a similar scenario reported a few months back, and if there is a solution for it, then we can mark it as known error, so that it will be considered as known error, and we also have a solution for it which can be which can be handled efficiently. But in our case, it is a new issue. So we are going to into the next tab called solutions. So the problem has been created, the analysis have been done, we have notified the technicians and respective user group with the help of announcement feature. Next comes the solution tab. So here it is providing you with two different options, the workaround, and second one is the solution. So workaround is nothing but the temporary fix which you provide for the specific reported problem. But in our case, we have found that the database, the CPU usage of the database have been high, which caused the issue. So we are going into the solution. So I'll be entering the solution to resolve the reported problem. So all those solutions can be entered over here. Okay. So under the solution tab, you can do it efficiently. So now in order to deliver this solution, we have the analysis have been completed, the solution have been found. Now in order to deliver the solution, my technicians has to perform certain operations on the database. As you all know, the database or the CPU usage of the database is very much high. So that can be created as task and it can be assigned to different task owners so that they will be doing all these tasks and they'll be completing all these tasks once when the solution is found. And also the technician can create a work log so that we will be able to calculate the amount spent on each task. That has to be done with the help of work logs. And then we have a tab called associations where all the reported incidents will be listed over here. The associated incidents from which the problem have been created will be listed over here. So this is how a problem can be handled. Okay, and also when you close the specific problem, it asks you with two different options. So it asks me to copy the problem solution and workaround to all the associated incident. You can copy the same solution to all the associated incident, and you can parallelly close all the incidents which is associated to this specific problem. Why? Because the root cause have been found, the solution have been found, the solution have been provided. We have also published an announcement regarding the particular scenario. Everything can be done with just a click when you close a particular problem. So the problem has been closed successfully. So this is how a problem has been managed with ServiceDesk Plus application efficiently. So we have seen how to link problem to specific incidents. We have seen the problem templates, the root cause analysis, and the problem closure rules, and we have seen the problem solution. So next in this slide, we'll be discussing, or we are going to see how Zilker has effectively built a knowledge base for few references if we face similar problem in the future. So let's get into the application and see how the knowledge base in Zilker has been built using ServiceDesk Plus application. So I'll go to the solutions module. So before creating a solution, as you can see, the knowledge base has been categorized into various topics. So you can categorize the solution into various topics, which will be useful for the users to choose which is the solution they want. That can be done from this view. And now, before creating a solution or before getting into the solution, there should be three different functions while creating a solution. First one is the privilege to add or create a solution. This can be done with the help of a role feature. So I'll take you to the admin role configurations. So the technician who has permission to the solution module with add privilege only can add or create a solution under the solutions module. So we cannot provide all the technicians to create a solution in the application, right? So there comes the role access. You can provide them. Sorry, I have specified the contract. You can select the solution module and then you can provide it accordingly. So now the solution has been created. So once when the solution is created, it is very important to verify the created solution and somebody has to approve the solution. Only then it can be published in the self-service portal. So here comes the solution approver comes into place. So I'll show you under the role configuration, you have an option to approve the solution. only if this option is enabled, that if the technician is provided with this role, only then he or she will be able to approve the specific solution. So that only then it will be published in the self-service portal. So we have created a solution, we have approved the solution. The next one is to mark the viewability of the specific solution which is approved. That can be done with the help of public and private options. I'll show you. So here, over here, this particular solution, the visibility is set to public. You have two different options. There is public and private. If you want the solution to be private, that is, if you want the solution to be accessed only by the technicians of the organization, you can go with the private mode. If you want all the users who's available in your organization to view the particular solution, then you can go with the public mode. So by using these features, we cover that who can be who is allowed to create a solution, who is allowed to approve the solution. So once it is approved, it will be marked to an approved status, and then we are going with the visibility of the particular solution, either it is private or public. So this can be done with under the solution module. Okay, so we have created, we have approved it, we have marked the viewability. Now it is very important to mark the expiry date and review date for a specific solution, right? So the reason for having this review date and expiry date is not all the solutions will be valid for indefinite time period. Hence, it is very important to review the solution. So you can mark a review date and expiry date. So when the date have been, when the solution have been expired, it will be marked as expired solution, and those solutions can be filtered with this solution filters which you have in the application. So the expired solutions will be shown over here, or expiring in next 15 days. All those filters have been shown with the help of the custom views which you have created in the solution module. All right. So some of the interesting features in the solution module, we have some interesting features that are the feedback. So you can create a feedback, that is if the solution is helpful or not, so that the technician or the user who views the solution can choose it accordingly. Next comes the keyword. So the keyword which is provided over here helps the user to search for the solution efficiently. I'll show you how it is handled. And then comes the associations. The associated requests which have been resolved by using this solution will be listed over here, and all those can be viewed in under the association tab. So this is what our solution module offers for a seamless knowledge repository management. And then we have an important feature I'll show you. It is the auto suggest solution. So this is our requesters login. I'll take you to a requesters login. Okay. Before that, let me show you the keywords of the solution, which is placed over here, the application and outage, right? So now I'll go to a requester login. I'll create a request with the subject application. Okay. And when I add this request, okay, the mandatory fields have to be filled. Let me choose it. And when I click on add request, there comes a pop-up which shows the suggested solutions of this specific incident. So based on the keywords associated, we will be able to view the suggestions of this specific incident. So I'll choose it accordingly. So here comes the solution which is approved regarding the CPU high outage issue. So I'll click on it. I'll view the solution. Okay, so this has to be applied for this particular issue. So I'll cancel this request, which helps the technicians or the requesters to handle it accordingly, more efficiently, and they'll be able to resolve it as early as possible. So guys, this is what we in the using ServiceDesk Plus application, we'll be able to build a wide knowledge repository. So a quick recap about what we have seen in this session. So you will be able to customize an incident template to gather all the required information regarding the end users. And then you will be able to build a request lifecycle, which ensures that there is no deviation from the predefined request management workflow. And you can also guide the technicians throughout the incident management and the response process. And then we have seen how we can automate routine manual tasks using business rules. You can automatically assign the group to based on the criteria provided. And then we have set the resolution expectation based on the service level agreements. You can configure service level agreements, which helps you to resolve and respond the request within a pre-configured timeline. If it is exceeded, you can go with the escalation rules, or you can perform actions to move the request to any other technician or to increase the priority of the specific incident. Once that is done, we have discussed about streamline communication using announcement. You can publish an announcement to any of the user groups or to the technician who is available in the organization. Then we have discussed about linking the problems to specific incidents and how it helped to carry out the incident postmortem and the root cause analysis using problem management templates. And then we have discussed on how to build an extensive knowledge repository by documenting the workarounds and solution within ServiceDesk Plus. Okay, guys. So you can send an email if you have any more questions, or if you have any more other queries, you can directly send an email to hello@servicedeskplus.com, where we will be replying to you as early as possible. So I hope my session was more informative. So we will be back again with more interesting features in the future episodes. Till then, bye bye from us. Thank you so much for all the attendees. Have a great day.